What is the number one trading mistake that I see traders making when they're trading the supply and demand methodology? That is the topic that we are going to be covering today. We're going to go through 3-4 different trade reviews talking about that number one mistake. And the number one mistake is not trading at strong imbalances. Remember, we are supply and demand traders. We are trying to identify where the big money is, and we're trying to trade at those levels when prices return. Let me ask you something. If there was a big imbalance between buyers and sellers, do you think price is going to move in a strong fashion or in a slow grinding fashion? It's going to move in a very strong fashion, right? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to identify where the big money is coming in and then trading at it. We don't want to be trading at these small grinding up zones, and we're going to go through examples. So let's get into an example, and let's first start off with a bad example. So over here I got a little Word document. This is from a quiz that I hand out to people when they go through the program. After the videos, I get them to do a little 10-question quiz. But in this case, I want to talk to you about the strength of the imbalance. And here we're going to be looking at, is this a good trade or bad trade? Hint, score the right chart. So never mind what's going on over here on the left chart. Let's look at what's going on here on the right chart. If we're trying to identify where big money is coming in, don't you think that we would see these strong imbalance candles look like this, like exactly like here? You see this green candlestick? That is a very strong move to the upside. You draw out your zone, a rally-based rally demand zone, and that imbalance, which is the first 1 to 3 candlesticks that leave the base, you want to see that candlestick going at least 2 to 1. So in this case, it went like 1, 2, 3. It went 3 to 1 in a single candlestick. That's exactly what we want to be trading. We want to be trading these strong imbalances. If it takes 6, 7 candlesticks to make a 3 to 1 move, I don't want to be trading that. Remember, we're trying to identify and trade at these strong imbalances. That's going to give us the biggest representation that there is a strong amount of buyers coming in. Because if there's a lot of buyers coming in, price is not going to go like this. And we are going to give you an example of something like this. Price is not going to move like that. If there is a serious amount of buyers coming in, you're going to see a big move like that. Or sellers, doesn't matter. You're going to see very strong imbalances. Okay, and if you look over here, sure, does that supply zone look like a big imbalance? This leg out, this little red candlestick right here, no. It's a very small move that went 0.5 to 1, right? So you got your base the size of here, and then the imbalance candle only went like right there. So definitely doesn't represent a strong indication of buyers or sellers coming into the market. And that's really what you want to see. We never got a momentum line break. We never got trend lines breaking. We never saw zones being removed. We never had a strong imbalance. These are all things that make a good trade. Okay? So let's get into an example of what I want to see. Let's go over to this trade example. This is a trade by Mohammed. He went on to say, haven't had a trade since the loss on Friday. Forced into it, no problem. Number 3, risk 1%. Perfect with a 2.5 risk to reward. He moved to stop loss to break even as soon as it was a 1-to-1 move. He says, I really don't need to enter a trade every day. Thank you, Austin, for making me realize this. No problem, my friend. Looks like you made $650. So that's awesome. Congratulations. If we go into his trade review, we can analyze it. We can actually look at the higher time frame as well. Look at the higher time frame as well. The 4-hour time frame over here on the right. It's got a decent leg out. Decent leg out that went out to a 1-to-1. It based out, but then it carried on and made all these very strong moves to the downside. All right, so that's telling me, hey, clearly there was a lot of sellers coming in up in here. So if prices return into that area, he wants to be looking for selling opportunities. He then went down to the 5-minute and he's like, hey, I can't just sell this zone straight up. I need to make sure that I see a strong imbalance, right? And he's got a really good imbalance. If you look here on his base, his zone, we can see that, let's just call it 10 pips. Let's just say 10 pips. The leg out that consists of 1, 2, 3, these 3 next red candlesticks, that went at least 3 to 1, right? So 30 pips, we'll call it. And his leg outs went 3 to 1. That's good. That's representing imbalance. That's what we want to be trading. If there is no imbalance, price is going to go sideways or it's slowly going to grind down. Okay? Remember, we are imbalanced traders. We are looking for strong moves in the market. So this is another example. This is from another trader I know. What are the zones that he's drawing out? Let's go. He went down to the 2-hour and he was trading this pullback. Okay, look at that tight base. Look at the very strong imbalance though. Perfect. That's what we want to be trading. I see so many people trading inside higher time frame zones or claim they're trading really good lower time frame zones, but the leg out is absolutely horrible. Like I could see some people reaching out to me saying, "Oh, look at this supply right here." I'm like, "Dude, I don't see any type of supply. I need to see this. I need to see this." Right? So, hey, it looks like he was selling the pullback if and when prices pull back up into there. Did he update us on how well that did? I'm not too sure. Oh, he was just posting a trade setup. Okay, so no problem. But hey, I really like that zone. Look at the quality of the imbalance. Let's look at another trade. Euro pound. This is one from Mikey. Euro dollar 1 minute. So he took a trade on a 1 minute time frame. But hey, look again. Look at this very strong imbalance here. Very, very strong move to the downside. 1, 2, 3, about 4 candlesticks, and it made a 5, 6, 7 to 1 move. That's what we want to be trading. Looks like he got in here and took it down. I'm not too sure. He said, yeah, so he sold there, and his take profit was down here. I'm guessing his take profit, yeah. So he was holding that trade for a very long time. Hopefully he moved his stop loss to at least break even, or at least followed the price action the way down. He closed it for 8 to 1. Perfect. You can see here, closed it 8-1. Perfect. Congratulations to him. Let's look at another trade review. Okay, this is another trade setup, trade review, I guess we could call it, from another guy called Bleeze. He's another great trader that I know. We can't really see it too well here. It's just his candlesticks, the way that he looks at it, but it looks like he scrolled out to get more of a price action view. He was selling this pullback right here. But what do you notice about this zone? All right, look at here. Imbalance, imbalance, all right, imbalance. Three very, very strong moves to the downside. That's what we want to be trading. Okay, guys, only trade zones that have a good imbalance. Let's go here back over to the Discord. We are here in the homework tab, and what I do is when people are going through the program after each lesson, lesson one, I get them to hand in homework. So the first homework is identifying and drawing zones. The next homework is something else the next week. And then the following week, you hand in more homework because I want to make sure that these people are understanding and getting how to identify zones, getting the whole methodology, understanding trends, all that type of good stuff, understanding the quality factor, how to score a zone. This is all stuff that I get them to do when they hand in their homework. But for the first homework, you have to identify and draw zones. And he was telling me, like, hey, I really like these zones. And I said, I don't like them. And I said, why don't I like them? Well, here is a trade review, not a trade review, but a zone that he was marking out. And I said, I agree, there's probably some type of demand, but guys, look at this. 1, 2, 3. It took 3 candlesticks to go 1 to 1. This should be moving 2 to 1 in a minimum, at least 1 candlestick. All right. We look at another one. Here, this demand zone. Okay, he's got his little base here, but then once again, it takes 2 candlesticks for this thing to go 1 to 1. Ideally, that's not something you want to be trading. Okay, we look at another one. What do you see here? And I'm not here to crap on his homework, but I definitely gave him like a 15-minute review, and I talked to him about how to identify proper zones, and now he gets it. But we would never want to be trading at a zone. Remember, we are imbalanced traders. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 candlesticks to go 1 to 1. You guys got to stop making this mistake because this doesn't represent imbalance at all. I don't know about you, but you're not going to be winning trades when you have leg outs like this. It takes 4 candlesticks to make a 1 to 1 move. No, 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 no. That's like my number one tip is when people are trying to start out is look for strong imbalances. Look for strong imbalances. Skip the chart. If you don't see anything, skip it and move on. You know what I mean? Let's look at a homework from Barrow. He was posting this homework, but hey, I like this type of zone. This is a 1 hour zone, but hey, I really like it. It's got a tight base. It's got a really good imbalance, right? Tight base, really good imbalance. Now understand there's a couple other things that go into this to qualify. Is it a good zone? Did it remove opposing zones? Did it break trend line? How much time price spent at the base? There's a bunch of things, but the number one thing that I have to tell people is make sure you are trading at strong imbalances. That is the number one thing. I actually have a full YouTube tips playlist that you guys can go on to. Go to my YouTube channel, go to playlist, and click on tips, view full playlist, and it'll break it down. Supply and demand course part 1, part 2, part 3, how to identify zones, how to draw zones, trends, all that type of good stuff is right there. And one of the other main problems I see is when people go to YouTube and they're trying to learn something. It's one of my number one pet peeves, and I tell people when they join my group, I say, hey, stop following all traders. Like, this is one system, one mentor, one community. That's what I really try to tell people, because look, if you go to YouTube and you type in, I don't know, how to take profit trading, okay, what are you going to get? You're going to get how to exit a trade and lock in profits. Don't be greedy. Take profits properly. How to take profit. $1,000. 98% win rate. Like, you're going to get all these different guys telling you, hey, this is the best way to take profit. You're going to get guys showing you thumbnails, 99% win, right? No drawdown, $1 million cash sitting in front of them. You're going to have guys that show these 20 to 1 risk to reward trades. They just want you to click on the video. But one of the main problems is, say you are going through a little bit of drawdown, you have 3, 4 losing trades in a row. You're thinking, oh, it's because I'm not getting filled, or oh, it's because I'm not learning how to take profits. Every single one of these guys is going to be giving you a different way to be taking profits. You struggle with one little way to take profit, boom, you're on to the next one. Same thing for trading. How to trade support and resistance. YouTube it. What do you see? Okay, you got this guy showing you how to enter. Okay, you got this guy showing you how to trade it. You got this guy. You got this guy. You got all these guys teaching you how to trade support and resistance, how to take profits. Like, you got all this type of stuff, and it's so confusing. This is why I tell people, like, just find one person you like and just ask them on social media. If they're not willing to answer questions on social media for your trading, then probably shouldn't be watching them, in my opinion. You know, they should be willing to help you and give you some free pointers on Twitter or Instagram. You know what I mean? So, hey, if you guys do have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me on social media and ask me, like, hey, I'm struggling with this. What do you recommend? Right? And if you want tips on, you know, how to trade supply and demand, okay, I got all the videos right here for you on my tips playlist. Okay, guys, so you guys can check that out. And if you want the free training at moneyballtrading.com, you guys can check that out, where we are helping traders become consistently profitable and live the life that they want with my top 3 tips. You guys can find that in the description. So, hey, I really do appreciate you guys listening to this video. If you like it, like. If you have any questions about the system, about this, let me know down below. All right, guys, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Cheers.